Is delicious. First of all, it smells fantastic. All of our scents are very light and airy, so it's not like it's going to smack you in the face with anything too strong. It's sort of like you walk in a little cloud of perfection, and all of the scents blend beautifully together, so you don't have to be worried about being overpowering. It's like if someone really awesome is standing next to you, they're going to start sniffing you. There's a lot of that going on in the world when they're like, oh my God, you smell so good, which is a pretty nice thing to hear on a regular basis, right?
So Adrienne, just really quickly, do you have to shake the mousse before you dispense it?
Yes, I think you do. I probably, just as like the history of me, like I probably overshake everything. It's one of those things, but you do want to activate this. There is a component to it that's going to aerate it because you want to get all that good light volume in here. And you can see this is so light and fluffy. Let me put a little more in so that you can actually see it. There we go. There's a little dollop. And you can see with the lightness of this, it really isn't heavy. This is not a heavy formula. It's super airy, super light, dispenses beautifully. And you're going to take and you're going to put this in wet hair. This can go from roots to tips. You could put this just in the root if you so chose, but I kind of find this to be such an easy one. It just really works beautifully through the hair. And for her, with her hair being so processed, there's so many things that are going to be benefited in the ends of her hair by applying something that is a treatment as well as a styler. And all of our stuff has incredible ingredients that are going to help your hair get healthier. This has bamboo in it that's going to give it new resiliency and lift off the scalp, and it also has maca root, which is going to fortify her hair strand. It kind of goes into the hair strand and gives it protein to give it more strength, but it also feeds it lots of moisture. The weightless moisture component is really huge.
I actually put maca root, maca powder in my smoothies.
Oh, it is a superfood. Yeah,
yes.
I think they call it like herbal Viagra or
yeah,
something.
Well,
sorry.
I don't use it for that.
Tell us about it. How's it working?
Wait a minute. That went off topic. Back to the volume.
Well, for
all
the
right,
hair,
so
it's gonna give
bump
you
up the volume.
Bigger, better hair. How's that?
All right, so here's the cool thing about this, right? Is the fact that this is something that everybody can use. Whether you've got straight hair, whether you've got curly hair, mousse is something that it doesn't have to be the mousse of the 80s. This is a real beautiful formula in the mousse. And I'll just show you guys here. What's lovely about this is the fact that it's so fluffy and it's so whipped.
It's like a happy cloud.
Yeah, it almost looks like a macaroon, right? Is that? And look at that, it just stays. It's just staying right there, right? That's how great it's going to give you the volume. All right, so let's see what you're doing over there.
Well, I'm using my hands and I'm kind of rough drying her hair. You don't have to go crazy with the blow dryer and make a big mess with the hair. You can just kind of lift your hands, and I'm going to put the heat in the scalp, and you can see already, see how that's sort of building off her scalp just by sort of picking up the hair and moving it out of the way, giving it a little bit of a rough dry on the inside. You can take and build body that way. I'm also a very big fan of the classic vent brush. I like to use a vent brush because I think you can kind of get in the hair and get out sort of quicker, as opposed to just using a round brush. So you want to like pick it up at the scalp and give it a little toss over to the side.
Okay. So pick up and toss. Now, we do have some questions in the chat. I want to ask them for you. Maggie says, is there anything specific in this line for curly hair?
For curly hair?
Yeah.
Absolutely. There's so many nutrients in this that are going to help your hair be more moisturized. I think that I wouldn't really use the 48-hour spray on curly hair because that's heat activated, right? Unless you're going to scrunch it or use a diffuser or something, that would help it to activate it. I personally have pretty wavy hair, and I love a mousse.
Yeah,
I think a mousse is really your friend. When you are using a mousse for curly hair, you're going to want to apply it from the roots to the ends. You're going to want to activate your curl formation. And then I always yell at my husband and I say it's the crucial drying stage. I call it the CDS. I never want to open the windows in the car. You don't want your hair being blown around. You want it to dry without any airflow around it because you need that curl formation to stay in place. Once it gets dry, you can break it up with your hands, and the mousse feels very clean and light. This is a very light product that is going to give you incredible volume and curl separation.
Now, when you are using a dryer, whether it's the flat end of the nozzle or if you're using a diffuser, what level should you keep the dryer at? Because it sounds like you've got yours pretty low.
Well, I have it low because I'm a little bit deaf, as I'm, not 22 years old, and I was paranoid that I wouldn't be able to hear you. You want a high quality hair dryer that's not like a blowtorch on your hair. If you've had your hair dryer for 30 years and you love it because it's so hot, it might be because it's like a blowtorch on your hair. If you are using something super strong, you could potentially burn your hair. So make sure you are using a modern appliance on your hair, not something that hasn't been, updated over the years. And using heat is something you just want to make sure you're moving that blower around, right? You don't want to kind of direct it right at your hand. You're not popping a bag of popcorn here. You want to keep that heat moving, circulating through the hair so that you can get nice movement out of it without it being too hot.
Now, as you continue to work on Alyssa's hair, just another question from Kathy. She says, my hair is so fine, old, and oily. What do I need?
Well, I have a really nice thing to tell you. If you have oily hair, you're gonna age beautifully because your body is producing more sebum than everybody else. So even though your hair is a drag right now, in 20 years, you're gonna be psyched because your skin is gonna be much nicer. If you have an oilier scalp, by adopting this sort of a product regime, you're going to almost retrain your hair to not create so much sebum. Because you're not having to wash your hair constantly, your body slows down that production. It's just not as intense. So using that and not over-activating, those glands is a great way to help calm that down. These are not heavy products as well. And remember what Alberti said about your conditioner, not applying it so intensely to the scalp. I think that's a good point. Even with this light product, if you have an excessively oily scalp, that's going to be something that you need to think about by avoiding that. I would also actually, sort of off topic, but I would recommend a little hair color because hair color is really great for people that have oily scalps because it creates a different texture within that hair and it's going to help your hair not be oily as quickly. I don't know if you have highlights, but when your highlights grow out, your hair starts to hang, and it's because the hair is all the same. So by having a little color in there, it helps give it a little bit more lift.
Okay, so Adrienne's gonna continue doing that blowout right over there. She's gonna finish with the volume. I'm gonna let you guys know what's going on here with the Bamboo Volume Weightless Mousse. This stuff is so frothy and beautiful, and it has such a great texture to it. If you want it, you can pick it up right here at beautyiq.com. Just use that item number, and you will be just a couple clicks away from getting that into your shopping cart or from getting it home. Also, if you want, remember, you can always call the number on your screen at any time, but it's $22 to try out a great volumizing mousse, and it's not sticky, tacky, kind of gross mousse like from the 80s. It's a beautiful, luxurious mousse that also smells really, really good. And we had a question in our chat. Christos says, does it work well for men? Yes, I would say that hair care does not discriminate against men in this scenario, whether you're using the shampoo and the conditioner that we had a little bit earlier, whether you're using the volumizing mousse or any other hairspray or any other product that we've got in this show. They work great on guys because I actually worked with Alterna for many years, several years ago, and I used all their products on my hair. So if you want it, you could pick it up right here at beautyiq.com or call the number on your screen. Now, we're gonna go back to Adrienne. She's finishing off that blowout with the mousse. And, Adrienne, we're finishing the blowout with the mousse. But we also want to start talking about the volume hairspray that we've got in this show, the anti-humidity hairspray. Because I think that when people are looking for volume, I think the number one concern they have is that their volume is going to get